Why?
Why?
If you have T-Mobile 5G home internet, you might be hearing this
Why?
a lot.
Why?
Every time your internet slows down during the busiest hours.
Why?
Why?
Because your network gives priority to cell phone users.
Why?
Good question. Why not switch to Cox Internet with 2 times faster download speeds than T-Mobile 5G home internet during peak hours?
Okay.
Stop the whys and visit cox.com/5G home for details. T-Mobile prioritizes certain T-Mobile phone users over home internet users during times of congestion.
Old Man Winter here. If I had it my way, it would stay winter all year long. Short days, wind chill, black ice, and a good polar vortex. Oh, heaven! Wait, is it getting warm in here?
Your cold snap is over, Old Man Winter. Spring has arrived.
Spring.
Spring is here, which means it's the perfect time to get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can get great deals on all of our award-winning Hyundai models, like the tech-filled Tucson and Kona, as well as the spacious Palisade. Enjoy wherever you go with the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. But hurry in, these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end soon. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Leading Ladies, a concert in celebration of Women's History Month featuring Kelsey Ballerini, Meghan Trainor, Elle King, Christina Perry. At the King's Theater in Brooklyn, New York on Wednesday, March 20th. Tickets are on sale now. You don't want to miss this amazing night of music dedicated to uplifting women's voices. With Kelsey Ballerini, Meghan Trainor, Elle King, and Christina Perry. Odyssey's Leading Ladies, presented by Olay Body. Buy your tickets now at kingstheater.com.
Hey, what time is it, kids?
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
This is how dementia. So I don't want to talk too much about it because I may give more hints than I want to that I'm starting to slip. You haven't noticed that, have you?
Not at all. No.
No, really?
No.
Jeff Lutz.
I understand who we're talking about.
And Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
Oh, gasp. I'm so excited.
Philadelphia.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Your visit is always discreet.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. A Tuesday edition, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. We got the three-man booth for you today. Jason Duda is in here. He brought a birthday present to Misty.
Yes,
His birthday was 5 days ago. Mine was yesterday. And apparently, and listen, I'm not trying to throw you or your family under the bus, but where's my birthday present?
Misty's birthday's on Leap Day?
February 28th.
Oh, so 6 days ago.
Shut up, Jeff. There, just.
Well, it'd be cooler if she was.
Do us all a favor.
February 29th.
Do us all a favor.
You know what?
Well, it's the 5th today, so wouldn't that be 5 days ago?
5 days ago is the 29th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 29th.
Oh, yeah, because there's
whatever.
9 days, leap year.
Yeah.
But you brought Misty a nice little box of treats.
Yes.
She's had one. She absolutely loved it. And now she's your best friend.
Of course.
But, again, I asked.
What?
Any thought of perhaps bringing me?
There was from my better half. There was none from me, but the better half kind of felt bad that, well, she didn't realize it was your birthday yesterday.
What do you mean she didn't realize it? It was all over.
And, well,
did you get a text from my wife at about 11 last night?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Last second memory of
busy day for the kid.
Let's get to the old guy. Tell him happy birthday, and nothing from your family. And just a relatively disappointing day.
Was it? Did you have a bad day?
Well, because of that.
Because of what?
Well, this makes. Yeah, I appreciate you thinking of Misty.
Oh, for sure. We had that right away.
She deserves every good thing that happens to her.
That's what we thought.
You might throw the old man a bone, literally.
Or figuratively.
Occasionally. Shut up, Jeff. If I'm going to sit over here and
you want to go?
If I'm going to get corrected by you all day,
he's grumpy because Misty got a present and he didn't.
I guess so. Is that what?
And
is
you're
that what
old
set
enough
you off?
to realize that you don't need a present. I don't need presents.
well, I mean,
Why do you need a present?
I didn't say I needed a present, but if
you're acting like it, and you should be happy that your dog got present.
I am happy.
There you go.
Very thoughtful.
We should be very happy about that and not thinking about yourself.
And she loved them. The dog treats, the peanut butter flavor, from Trader Joe's. I think these have only been recalled 2 or 3 times in the past, so we appreciate it.
And they're $40 a box.
Really?
Wow.
Better enjoy
Threw
it.
that out there.
Wow. $40 a box.
Well, that's why we couldn't afford anything for you.
What makes them good?
Peanut butter.
I don't know.
$40.
Peanut
good.
butter flavor.
I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
Trader
I don't know how
Joe's.
much
You gotta-
they are.
No, I bet they are $40.
No, they're not. They're probably $7.99. Be my guess. If I was on The Price is Right,
$7.99.
be my guess.
20 ounces. I'll look that up.
I'll say $9.99.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. So it'd probably be $8.99.
Well, I'll win because I was under.
Well, in Price Right lingo, yeah, you would win. All right.
Tough. There's a lot of things you got to put in.
We'll see.
21.12 on Amazon. $22 at Walmart.
Really?
15. But I mean, there's
wow.
It's around $20.
Good grief.
I win.
You do win. I can't believe you spent that kind of money.
Well, when it comes to the dogs, my wife has no limits.
Well,
As you
Misty
can see.
appreciated it.
So I was right. We didn't have any money left over for you.
Well, I don't blame you. $20. Good grief. I am excited. Jeff has arranged for the Mad Hungarian, Al Hrabosky, to be on this show at 2:25.
Good stuff, isn't it?
You're a good.
Former Cardinals closer, pitched for the Braves, pitched for the Royals. One of the most colorful figures in the history of the game of baseball, and he will join us today at 2:25. At 2:45, E.J. Garnes, the coach of the independent girls team. They are in the Class 2A tournament up in Manhattan, and they've had a good season. I believe they're 21-3 going into the state tournament, and they blew out Cheney. So we'll talk to E.J. Garnes about that independent school team. At 3 o'clock, Martin Shetler, the boys coach at Andover. And then at 3:25, a game. We can waltz right through this show.
Wow.
Easy. And if you like last week's game, you'll love this week's.
And in
really?
fact,
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I understand, Jeff is not here. And that's also the case Thursday. Is that my understanding?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to go cover some state tournaments for Channel 12, get a little written pieces up on the website.
Have you been asked to do that?
No.
Do they want you to do that?
I don't know, but I'm doing it.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go do it.
So if they say don't, then call me tomorrow so then you can do the show.
I'm not going to ask.
Oh, you're not going to. This guy is something.
He's going to be canned in a week.
I'm not going to.
Why do I need to be? Why do I need to ask to produce content? Like what? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in
Or
my
are you going
life.
to go Friday and Saturday, too?
Of course.
Where are you going Friday?
Friday I'll be in Salina.
And what about Saturday?
Saturday it's most likely going to be here.
What if there's no local teams here?
Then I'll pick somewhere else. Probably 5A, but we'll see.
What, Salina's 4A?
Salina is 4A. That's Wellington and McPherson, most likely the girls'
Well,
game
my
on
wife
Friday.
would want to drive up there with you.
Well, she's more than welcome.
I'm going to let her know that. She would love to go to that Wellington girls' game.
Could I?
Now, he's going to say, could I get her to pay for gas?
No, I was going to say,
Some
can I pick her
nonsense.
up?
I thought I mean, he's doing it for his work.
Well,
Doesn't the
yeah,
work cover it?
exactly. So the
Nah, I don't care about
the
all
gas
that.
won't be covered because they're not okaying this.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I don't care about all that. That's never been a factor to me.
You know what I'd have done if the Eagle had told me, yeah, go up there and cover this, but we're not paying for your gas? You know what I'd have said?
What?
See ya.
Then I ain't going, pal.
Just
That's
like
fine. I want to go. I want to go, so I'm going to go.
I got to stand up for something, don't I?
that. Absolutely. Stick up for yourself once in a while.
TJ, our sports director, said he's fine with it, so I'm going to do it.
He's just fine with it.
Yeah,
he
said
probably. I'm fine. Whatever. I got to get back to this breaking story.
Let's see what TJ said. You definitely can Friday or Saturday if you want.
If you want.
And I said I might the other days too. We'll see. He said if you write it, I will post it. You have that promise. Well, you don't need to post it, TJ. I know how to do that. But I appreciate it.
Oh, he's gonna.
Is he your superior?
No, he's not.
Well, now wait a minute. Why are you asking him that?
He's the sports director.
Well, but is he
to whatever degree we have that position?
Is he your superior?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, he might. Sounds like the language he's using indicates that he thinks he's your superior.
Well, he might. He might think that. But, it is what it is. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to write some stories.
Why don't you just ride with whomever is covering for KWCH? Why don't you ride up with TJ?
Is TJ going? I don't know if he's going Wednesday
what
or Thursday.
What tournament's he covering?
I don't know. I mean, that'd be beautiful, though, wouldn't it, if that was an option?
Why don't you? Do you guys communicate?
Why would you both go cover the same tournament?
Well, we have a television element and a print element. Or digital element.
But you're covering the same tournament.
So?
One doesn't write and one doesn't do video.
And one doesn't speak.
So why wouldn't we coordinate?
That's crazy talk.
And kind of hit as many as we can with either a video element or a written element.
I'll put some video up. I'll take a picture or two on my phone. It'll be great.
Thoughts, Duda? I don't get it, but
I don't get it either.
What don't you get? I don't understand why this is a big mystery.
Why would you not go cover a different tournament?
Different than what?
Than the one he's covering.
I don't know what he's covering.
I know, but
why wouldn't you ask?
I don't know that he's going on Wednesday or Thursday.
Well, why wouldn't? Would it not be simple to say, "Hey, TJ, you be TJ.
Okay,
I'm going to be Jeff, who
I haven't
never do what I'm going to do." But
yes, Jeff.
Hey, TJ, what's up, man?
Not much. Come into my office.
Yeah, I'll be right there. Need some coffee,
please.
TJ does not have an office.
So I'm going to go. What tournament you covering Wednesday?
I'm heading up to Salina.
Salina 4A. Well, I think I'll go to 5A so we can have a little variety of coverage that day.
You know what, Jeff? That sounds fantastic. I think you should do that.
And what about Thursday?
Well, where are you going Thursday? Would you like to go somewhere?
I think I'd like to go to Salina Thursday. Well, no, I'm going to go. I'll probably go to Emporia on Thursday.
You're going to go to Emporia?
Yeah.
Well, then maybe I'll just go to Salina. I'll go to Salina both days, and then that way we have it all covered.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
All of our viewers and readers will be able to see that they were.
And then maybe Brandon, our other guy, can go to 6A or 3A. We got some. We just it'll be good to have.
No, I think he's going to come with me. That way, I have someone to drive with.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I don't care where they're going. You guys are idiots. That was a huge waste of time.
Well, no, coordination.
Yeah. And
why do I need to coordinate?
It took what, 45 seconds?
We always coordinated our coverage at the Eagle. I just didn't fly off. I'm going to go to 4. Where are you going, Dwayne? Well, we had a plan.
Yeah, that was different because everyone was doing the same job. Everyone was writing about those games. I'm the only person sent out by KWCH by myself.
Yeah, you're not sent out by KWCH.
Right. Fine, then I won't do it. I just won't go this week. All
right, we'll see you here tomorrow.
No, I won't be here. I'll be sick. I'm gonna be sick here in a minute.
Well, I mean, I think we're on the same page, Duda and I. Just trying to understand.
I want to go, so I'm going to go. It's as simple as that.
Okay, well, if you just said that, then I could understand.
I did 15 minutes ago.
No, you said you were going to write a piece, and you were going there to work.
I am.
And other people are going there to work, possibly.
So?
That's what we're...
Just seems like some duplication, but whatever. As long as your boss, TJ, thinks it's okay, we're good.
My boss, TJ, I'll have to get used to that.
Well, that's all right. Step into my office, and we'll talk. You should probably schedule an appointment.
My favorite thing is when we team up and I'm on the two-person side of the team.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's great.
That's probably my favorite thing about this show. I don't like being on the one-person side that much, but when I'm on the two-person side, I just have a great time.
It's great. It's fantastic.
I will say this, TJ doesn't listen to me, so maybe he does feel like he is my boss.
What do you mean he doesn't listen?
I've given him some things, some pointers, some, hey, let's do this, and no.
Well, sit down and talk to him.
I don't care.
Well, you just mentioned it.
I mean, I care.
I'm on a radio show.
I care, but I don't care enough to make it a big deal with him.
Well, give me an example of something you've told him. And again, he could fire you after this segment, so...
He was doing state wrestling, was it 2 weekends ago? And I said, hey, we might want to go get some sound on Mike Church since he's a state champion. And he just passed away, and he was a coach, and he ran the event. Didn't do it, but that's okay.
Well, maybe next time run it through his assistant first.
Maybe I'll have to.
Yeah, go up the chain of command.
That's all good.
You can't just start at the top.
With TJ?
Oh, so got to start with a couple levels down.
I hope nobody at Channel 12 is listening and taking this seriously. I always worry.
What if they are? What if they're like, what's this clown doing?
I worry about that.
See it.
Let me see.
See it happening.
Who is this? Let me look at our roster of employees. Jeff.
We only have like 2 or 3 Jeffs.
I hope you have enough pizzazz there that they don't take this seriously, or they could very easily think
TJ's probably golfing right now.
Why don't you golf with the boys?
I don't get invited to these things. I'm the old guy. I'm the subordinate. I'm down in the pecking order apparently.
What are you sensing here?
I don't think he likes it.
I don't know. I'm not asked. I guess because I'm not in a sports department.
Well, aren't you involved in their fantasy football league?
Yeah, we do all that together.
Well,
fantasy
they probably
basketball, fantasy, all of it.
You probably said I don't like golf. Why would anybody want you to golf?
That's a great question.
I mean, really,
it would be nice to get an invite, like you wanted an invite to Old Chicago on Friday.
Oh, now we're going to turn that table around.
You probably wouldn't have gone anyway.
May I ask politely why? Who set that up? Was that a Jeff thing?
Set what up?
The going to the Northwest Maze game and then
on
the
Saturday,
and then the Old Chicago trip after the game, and it would
we
have
were
been
talking
nice.
about it on the show.
Well, I didn't hear that.
You were sitting right there.
No, I wasn't.
No, that was when he left. Remember?
Oh, he left. That's right.
Yeah.
So you were listening to it.
I did not listen.
He claims he didn't listen. I don't know why.
No, I said I was going to the Maze Northwest game, and he's like, well, maybe I'll go. And I said, well, then let me know. And he says, okay, well, I'll just text you in the morning. And I said, okay.
But then it turned into a big kind of date, and
well, not really, because we weren't going to, because we left, and Jackson came with us, and I said we're just going home, and Jackson was like, I was like, well, do you want to get something to eat? And he's like, no. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just drop you off. So as I was on the way home, I called Jeff and said, yeah, let's go get a bite, because I wanted a beer.
So Jackson didn't go on that part of the evening.
No.
Poor Jackson.
Well, it would have been
Poor
nice.
Jackson, he didn't want to.
Well,
what if I'd been along? He would have definitely wanted to.
I don't know. He might still be mad at you. It's been 17 years since you made it to a soccer game.
Well, that would have made up for some of that.
Yeah, it might have. But
I would have asked him about soccer. Did Jeff ask him about soccer?
We were at a basketball game.
Well, no, but did at any point in the evening did you say, "Hey, how's soccer going?"
Not really. No,
No, not really.
No, we're watching the basketball game.
Well, I don't care what you were watching.
It was loud. We talked a little bit, but we couldn't engage in like full-on conversations.
Plus, it was a good game, so we're watching the game.
Great game.
Well, during a timeout, hey Jackson.
The band was
during
playing,
a timeout. It's louder than ever.
It was.
So it sounds like you didn't even want Jeff talking to Jackson. It sounds like
he could have
Jeff wasn't
talked to
even
Jackson.
sitting next to Jackson.
He was. Jackson was
in the middle.
He was available.
Well, that's too bad. Jackson missed out.
You know, teenagers don't always like talking to 41-year-olds. So,
they like talking to 69-year-olds.
They do?
Better than their dads.
Darn right.
Grandpa.
I would have engaged him. He missed out.
He didn't want to be engaged. He's not out there to be engaged. He wants to sit and hang out and watch a basketball game.
I would have been engaging.
He didn't want to talk about his exploits all the time. Right?
That's right.
Thank you.
He's right.
Yeah, but I think he would have enjoyed it. Oh, well.
Well, he may have, but
opportunity
we don't know.
missed because you guys are too selfish to invite me.
Sorry
and
about that.
I would have enjoyed having a beer with you.
Well, would you have went to the game?
Probably not, man.
No, probably not.
You never know.
So then what? We didn't even really plan on going to.
I might have gone to the game. I'm going to go out tomorrow night to Coke Arena to a couple girls' games. I want to see Derby and Heights play. They don't play each other tomorrow night, but they play back-to-back, and I'm looking forward to that. And then on Friday, they could potentially play one another.
Well, there you go.
Although I've kind of committed to going to Emporia on Friday to see Capon play.
Well, that'll be fun, too. You could go to Emporia tomorrow. What if Capon doesn't win tomorrow?
Did he invite you to go to any of those?
No.
Oh.
Well, he's already doing the KWCH thing.
I didn't get invited either. So.
All right, we're going to take a break. I'm looking forward to this next interview. Of course, I'm a longtime Cardinals fan. Since the early 1960s, Al Hrabosky pitched for St. Louis in the 70s on some not great teams, but he was worth it. And we're going to talk with Al Hrabosky, formerly of the St. Louis Cardinals, next.
Why?
Why?
If you have T-Mobile 5G home internet, you might be hearing this
Why?
a lot.
Why?
Every time your internet slows down during the busiest hours.
Why?
Why?
Because your network gives priority to cell phone users.
Why?
Good question. Why not switch to Cox Internet with 2 times faster download speeds than T-Mobile 5G home internet during peak hours?
Okay.
Stop the whys and visit cox.com/5G home for details. T-Mobile prioritizes certain T-Mobile phone users over home internet users during times of congestion.
Old Man Winter here. If I had it my way, it would stay winter all year long. Short days, wind chill, black ice, and a good polar vortex. Oh, heaven! Wait, is it getting warm in here?
Your cold snap is over, Old Man Winter. Spring has arrived.
Spring.
Spring is here, which means it's the perfect time to get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can get great deals on all of our award-winning Hyundai models, like the tech-filled Tucson and Kona, as well as the spacious Palisade. Enjoy wherever you go with the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. But hurry in, these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end soon. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Leading Ladies, a concert in celebration of Women's History Month featuring Kelsey Ballerini, Meghan Trainor, Elle King, Christina Perry. At the King's Theater in Brooklyn, New York on Wednesday, March 20th. Tickets are on sale now. You don't want to miss this amazing night of music dedicated to uplifting women's voices. With Kelsey Ballerini, Meghan Trainor, Elle King, and Christina Perry. Odyssey's Leading Ladies presented by Olay Body. Buy your tickets now at kingstheater.com.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
All right, we're joined on the hotline by Al Hrabosky, formerly, still, the Mad Hungarian, part of the St. Louis Cardinals broadcast team on Bally Sports Midwest. Al, it's a great pleasure. I'm a longtime Cardinals fan. Thank you for being on the show today.
Well, I appreciate you having me, but I got to tell you a little secret. I actually got my start as a Cardinal fan in Wichita. I played semi-pro ball in I guess it was 1968 for the Sunflower Packers, and I was young, and I can remember sitting on the coach's backyard and listening to KMOX radio and listening to Cardinal games, and then a year later I signed with St. Louis.
Yeah, I was aware of your time here in Wichita with the Sunflower Packers, believe it or not, a Victory League team at the time and a good one. So I got at, let's start there. What are your memories of long ago, being here in Wichita for a summer?
Well, I just had the first year of college, and my coach set it up, and I came there and stayed at Wheat Shocker dorms. I think they were condemned at that time, and we played for the Sunflower Packers, but none of us could stand the smell of the slaughterhouse, so we'd work in Kansas cold storage. And if you had the dream job, a refrigerated boxcar, but most of the time we were down in the basement picking up 100-pound boxes of beef. And, they kind of got mad at us. We only worked 8 hours. And then, the summer heat, to be like 100 degrees outside and you'd be in a room that's 30 degrees the whole time. And I came out there, and then I got picked up by Cessna to play in the Nationals. And, I was working 8 hours plus at the Kansas cold storage. And then when I got picked up by Cessna, there were 4 of us, and we had to build 4 engine stands that the wood was already cut and everything. All you had to nail was, 4 pieces into a square and a couple holders on the side. The other guys would sleep in a plane, and I'd do all those things in a half hour, and they'd be waiting, for all day to go out and practice. But it was a good experience.
How did all of that lead you to becoming a Cardinal fan, and did your fandom play any part in you eventually becoming a Cardinal? Were they aware of you because of that for any reason?
Well, when I got picked up by Cessna for the national finals, a Cardinal scout, Runt Marr, offered me a contract, and I said I wanted to have another year of schooling at least, and then I wanted to sign. So he said he'd write a recommendation to the Cardinals, and I got drafted that winter by St. Louis, but I had to deal with the California guys, and they didn't like me because I was too small. I got drafted the first year I pitched, and I didn't play a lot of baseball. I was a football player. That was my passion and my love. But my senior year was the first year I pitched, and really I hadn't, from 14 years of age, I hadn't played baseball until my junior year, and I was an outfielder, first baseman. But, and then I got drafted, and then actually, they had that January draft back then, and it was for people that had been drafted before, and some college students or something. I think I was the only guy that ever made it to the big leagues from the January draft for the Cardinals. And the last nights they had rights to me before the June draft, my college coach said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to sign with the Cardinals," but they made a real low offer before the season. I went out and I was the player of the year for that conference, and nobody ever contacted me afterwards. And the night before, so he said he would call the scouting supervisor. Told me later that day, he said he'll be at your house at 9:00, and I said, "Coach, you got him that far. Why don't you come too?" And I always said I was signed as a favor to my college coach, but I didn't care. I just wanted the opportunity, and with it, 1 year of signing in June of '69, I was in the big leagues in June of '70.
Hrabosky, our guest, former Cardinal, got to the big leagues at the age of 20 in 1970, so that's pretty impressive. You were a starting pitcher in the minor leagues and kind of transitioned to being a relief pitcher. Did that better suit your personality, and did that lead to the moniker the Mad Hungarian?
Well, I had a lot of nicknames, but this is a family show, so that was the only one we could settle on. Back then, if you were in the minor leagues and you weren't a starting pitcher, you weren't a prospect. You had no chance to get into the big leagues. You were just somebody filling out a roster. So, yes, I started in the minor leagues, but was always with the intent of probably being a relief pitcher. And then Whitey Herzog, when I played for Whitey in Kansas City, and I love Whitey, best manager I ever played for, he would always say that I was too hyper to be a starting pitcher. So, he after the 70 season, I had already lost my student deferment. My lottery number was 13. I already taken the physical and kind of bogusly got a year to have corrective elbow surgery, which I still have never had. So in the meantime, I got on reserve units. So 71, I was on, all of spring training and most of the year in the Army. So then that kind of set me back, and 71 was just a wasted year. And then they said, you got to go back through the minor leagues. And so I would start there. But Whitey always said that because I was so hyper, I was better suited for, being a relief pitcher.
So this is probably the 10 millionth time you've been asked this question, but when I Googled it, nothing came up. So are you actually of Hungarian descent?
Yes, I am. It's one of those things where, a lot of times back, young, I was called, the Polish or Polak or, which those are neighbors, but I was proud of my Hungarian heritage. And so one day our PR director, I walked by his office and he called me MH, and I kind of stopped. I said, "What's that?" He goes, "Mad Hungarian." And I said, "Oh, I like that." But believe it or not, I am the Hungarian ambassador to baseball. I've been over there several times doing a couple things for the government, assessing their baseball program, which is non-existent. When I first started doing it, it wasn't an Olympic sport, so there was no money, national money that went to it. So it was just kind of a word by mouth. And there was an American colonel stationed at the Hungarian embassy, and he was helping out a local guy trying to, build some kind of a baseball program there, but it really hasn't gotten that far off the ground.
Speaking with Al Hrabosky here on the show, so happy to have him with us. So when's the first time, Al, that you took the ball, slammed it in your glove from behind the mound, turned around with that intimidating look and that Fu Manchu? That was all by design, I take it. When's the first time you did that? When did you break that out?
Yeah, it was right after the All-Star of 74. And, it's the start of 74, I was the closer and really was struggling. Just my mind was wandering. I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. And the Cardinals were getting close to sending me down. And, one day Jack Buck, our great announcer, said, "Simmons saved you." And I go, "What do you mean Simmons saved me?" And he goes, "Well, they were getting ready to send you down, and somebody asked Ted, 'What's wrong with Al?' And he said, 'Don't worry about it. He'll figure it out.'" So I knew that I had to work on my concentration, and what I came up with was that walking off the back of the mound, got into visualization, mentally seeing myself wind up, throw a pitch, seeing a positive reaction of a swing and miss. And I do really remember the very first time I did it. It was in a late inning situation. I don't know if it was a save or the game was tied, but Steve Garvey was up, and right-handed batter. I'm a left-handed pitcher, and when I went back there, I just kind of visualized where I wanted to throw the ball. And then one of the things that I learned from Gibson is to accept the consequences. And when I got on the mound, I tried to duplicate what I did mentally, physically, and I just wound up through the ball that went exactly where I wanted to go. I got a positive swing and miss, and it's almost like a light bulb going off. So that was the start of it. It was something that was totally designed for me, but it did have, an effect. If I was playing in St. Louis or a home team, the crowd usually was very receptive. On the road, I loved it, because I'd be greeted by a standing boo, and I just thrived on that one-on-one battle. So I tried to create a one-on-one battle with every hitter. And obviously when you had, Reggie Jackson or Schmidt or, Stargell or any of the big sluggers, you didn't have to create that drama. It was already there. So it was just fun, but that's what kind of changed my whole career and separated me from anybody else, because nobody's really taken it to that extreme.
I was just watching the clip of you not really getting into it with an umpire, but you guys couldn't really figure out which ball to use, and you were throwing it back, and he was rolling it back, and you rolled it back. I know probably opposing hitters, you graded on them a little bit with some of the things you did. What about umpires? What were your dealings like with them?
Well, that was at the end of my career was with Atlanta. And in that particular game, Bob Engel was the home plate umpire. And I had, was kind of mopping up in the game. It was my third inning relief. And Reggie Smith, the former teammate, but Reggie, great competitor and great ball player, was at home plate. And I got a ball from Bob Engel, and it just felt like it was real high seams, and I didn't like that. So I was trying to exchange it, and they gave me another one that just felt exactly the same way. And so when I got ready to throw it back to him, he threw one out to me. So I rolled my ball towards him, and he took another ball out, rolled it back to me. And so, I wasn't trying to mess with him. And I actually even stopped by the umpire room at Dodger Stadium because it was right next to the visitors' clubhouse. And I knocked on the door and said, "Bob, I wasn't trying to mess with you. I just didn't like the ball." And he goes, "Oh, that's all right, But anyway, I had really a good rapport with umpires because most of the time the opposition was always yelling at them because I was off the mound and doing this and doing that, and they would always react so negatively. So I think in some ways it benefited me because I was never complaining to them. I had one umpire tell me one time, he goes, "I don't particularly like what you do, but the crowd reacts to it, and that's good for baseball, and so, I'll accept it." And then I had other guys like Ed Vargo, who was also Hungarian, but was the senior most umpire in the National League, and he told me, he goes, "I really like to umpire you because you just come right at people. There's no messing around. You're just going to attack the hitter, and that was kind of what I always tried to do. I was a frustrated football player on the mound, and I credit a lot of my aggressiveness to the fact that I loved football."
Couple moments here left with Al Hrabosky. In 1975, he finished third in the National League Cy Young Award voting, eighth in the MVP voting for the Cardinals. So let's cut to the current version of the Cardinals because I greatly like your work on the pre and post game. I loved your work when you were doing color analysis of the games. We're led to believe that the Cardinals have addressed their pitching situation in a positive way. Yet we find out today that Sonny Gray has what they term to be a mild hamstring pull. It may cost him his opening day start, but we're pretty vague about the rest of it. Are the Cardinals in a good place right now, Al?
Well, they had a lot of work to do this offseason, and they addressed, three starting pitchers, with Sonny Gray being the best one and the most prominent, bringing back Lance Lynn and then you got Kyle Gibson coming. So they got veteran guys. Last year, they, especially after the trade deadline when they traded away the pitching, they were awful young and the guys weren't ready. So they feel like they've got guys that are going to go deeper into a game, take the pressure off the bullpen. I think they've done some real interesting things in the bullpen. So they are actually better than they were last year right now. But last year, if you would have told me, I said they should have won the Central Division in the National League. And obviously they had their first losing season, 91 losses, last place, horrible season. But, with what I give John Mozeliak, the president of baseball operations, a lot of credit because he wanted to go out and get three starters and rework his bullpen. And he struck very early, getting Sonny Gray and the two other starters. And if he would have waited, and I know they were very interested in Yamamoto, but when it started talking about he was going to be $200 million guy, I knew the Cardinals weren't going to go there, and they shouldn't have. Even though the kid's 25 and it was probably more of a sound investment than a lot of the other guys. And then he ends up signing for $325 million. But when the numbers got so big, I think the fact that the Cardinals struck so early, those guys might not have been around if you waited for the bigger names. And they got some intriguing guys in the bullpen. Some guys that, Kittledge was an all-star in 21 for Tampa Bay. Then he had Tommy John surgery. He did pitch the last couple months and pitch well for Tampa Bay last year. So this is his walk year. So I think he's very interesting. You still got your closer and seven man, and they expecting a lot of JoJo Romero and Gallegos to bounce back. Gallegos needs to bounce back, and Romero just, end up having a knee injury and patella tendonitis in the knee. So, and then with Kitlich and some of these other guys, I think they stockpiled, and it really will allow some of those younger pitchers that are still young, 20, 23, 24, 25, to, get more seasoning in the minor leagues. So hopefully if they stay healthy and hopefully if everybody advances a little bit offensively, it's got a chance to be a good club. I don't know if it'd be very difficult to be faced up against the Atlantas, the Philadelphias, and the Dodgers, but they should win the Central Division.
Well, I appreciate it. Speaking as a fan, I want them to be a great club, but that's fandom right there. So, Al, thank you so much. It's really –
I'm a fan too, so I want to see him do well also.
I hear you. Thank you so much. It's great talking with you. We appreciate you coming on the show.
Okay, Bob. Anytime. Thank you.
All right. Al Hrabosky. All right, that was cool.
Yeah.
I've watched him hours upon hours talk about the Cardinals. He's funny in a dry way. Great
It's the best kind of way to be funny.
Yeah. Did you enjoy that, dude?
That was good.
Yeah, I love Al Hrabosky. All right, we're joined on the hotline now by E.J. Garnes, the girls' basketball coach at the Independent School. They have a game coming up tomorrow night, 8 o'clock in Manhattan against Hillsborough in the first round of the Class 2A state tournament. E.J., welcome. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Thank you so much. And they moved us this year, man. We're not in Manhattan anymore. They moved us out to Dodge City.
Dodge City? Well,
Dodge
there you
City
go.
This
How
year.
did you not know that?
Why didn't you know that, Jeff?
I don't know. I'm sure I did.
My quality control person is,
Yeah,
well, that's a better place to play, although Dodge City has a very nice facility as well.
Absolutely.
So you've had a really good year. You're 19-3. Your losses have been to Life Prep here in Wichita and to Jenks, Oklahoma, and then to another school I don't know a whole lot about. But we were talking to the Cheney girls coach yesterday, Sarah McCormick, and we noticed that you had beaten them pretty handily, and we know they have a great program. So you got things going on there at the Independent School.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Things are definitely trending in the right direction for us. Have a great group of young, talented girls. We're losing one senior after this season. So things are definitely headed in the right direction for us. And we found a good groove this season, and we're kind of ready to go and try to cap it off with the title.
How did you end up at Wichita Independent? I know you played here at Southeast. I believe you coached at North High. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Independent's really starting to put an emphasis on athletics, and that seems to be paying off. So how did you end up there?
Yeah, absolutely. So Jason Selman, who's our athletic director, me and him started out at North High coaching on the boys' side together. And then 2 years ago, when I became the head girls coach at North High, Selman followed me over and was an assistant coach for me on that girls' side. And then a year later, he gets the athletic director position over at Independent. And shortly after, asked me to come on board with him, and kind of just saw his vision and the school's vision of wanting to obviously still keeping academics the main focus, but wanting to up the athletics here, and was excited for that opportunity and joined over with Jason Selman, as well as our head of school, Terrell Davis, who was new in that first year as well.
Well, Coach, obviously you got a pretty good team. Why don't you talk about some of your players and who's really stood out for you this year?
Absolutely. Our heart and soul really is Zoe Buckner Franklin, a freshman who had came over last year as an 8th grader to the middle school. Zoe has this summer, going into her freshman season, got a Wichita State offer after going to Wichita State's basketball summer camp. received an offer for them and still holds on to that offer and is in hopes for more big-time offers. And I have a lot of contacts with Division I coaches. So she's really our heart and soul, averaging around 22 points per game for us. Just a stat sheet stuffer, does a little bit of everything for us, can pass her butt off, rebounds really well, creates a lot of second chance opportunity for us just with her aggression and going to get rebounds. So she's huge for us. And then my senior, Steffi Salamu, who has a lot of buzz and the coaches as well on the next level. Had a Division I in South Carolina State come and watch her play. All the Jayhawk Conference JUCOs, for the most part, have been around and have seen her, and she's just a matchup nightmare. As much as I love Zoe, and the same with our leading scorer last year, we had Samaya Ellis. I always remind Steffi that if I'm an opposing team and I look at the make of our team, I'm probably a little more concerned about her, even though she's not the leading scorer, but just her ability to get a defensive rebound and push the ball up the floor, passes it better than most high school kids. The gender doesn't matter. She's that gifted when it comes to passing. So those two kind of carry us heavily on the offensive end. And then Dina Holmes, my sophomore center, that's standing at 6'2", is just our security blanket defensively. Actually, Zoe, I was having a conversation with her today, and she was like, man, it's just so relieving when you're playing defense knowing you have Dina behind you. I mean, Dina's had a game where she's recorded 8+ blocks, and she's recorded 6+ blocks multiple games. So just a force in the inside for us. And those three are the ones who really drive us going, and we just got a boatload of talent and great girls around those three.
We're talking with E.J. Garnes, the head girls coach at the Independent School. They are in Dodge City tomorrow to face Hillsboro in a first-round Class 2A game. Is Zoe the daughter of Angela Buckner by chance?
The niece of Angela Buckner.
Okay, there you go.
That's cool.
And we know you're the son of former Southeast star Irvin Garnes, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, he played in an era when I covered high school basketball and one of the most athletic players around at the time. And I want you to understand that, EJ. So when he's telling you these stories, he's not making it up. You do know that, right?
You know what's funny is he doesn't talk about it much. It's usually his peers, his close friends growing up. They are the ones who usually tell me the stories. He doesn't talk about it much, and I love that about him, and I kind of take after him with that, and just being humble, and not really speaking much of yourself, because obviously if others are doing it, then you really were doing something. So as good and as athletic as I hear he was, I don't hear much from him at all. He's more
the same way on this show with my son.
Yeah.
I never brag on myself.
Nor does he have a reason to, EJ, so it's probably a little different. So I was just curious, because you play a lot of different teams. You play some out-of-state teams. Mm-hmm. Are you still in the Central Plains League? I'm not sure what's happened with Independent.
Yeah.
Is that still your league?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, this year was our first year in school history of our girls winning the Central Plains League. So pretty exciting. But yeah, still our league. But with the Central Plains League, we only play our league games once, which I kind of
that's
find
why I
as
was
a
curious.
luxury. Yeah, so we get to schedule.
That doesn't make sense.
We face each other once, and then we kind of have, it's almost like a college feel. You kind of have like a non-conference schedule. I was in the city league, and you play everybody twice, and really your non-conference or your non-league games come from your mid-season tournament, and you get one outside of that. So for us to be able to schedule outside of the mid-season tournament that gives you 3 to schedule 8 more games, I think is a real luxury, because being 2A, we're able to go and play some of the 5As and the 6As, and kind of see where we're at outside of 2A, see where we're at in the city of Wichita and in the state of Kansas. And obviously we're going to the Tulsa mid-season tournament, branching out to the border states as well. So we're just trying to give these girls an opportunity to improve and see where they're at amongst competition around their age groups. So I love that about this school, and I love that about our schedule.
All right, we really appreciate you coming on. Best of luck in the 2A state tournament. It starts for you guys tomorrow night, the late game out at Dodge City against Hillsboro. EJ, thank you very much for coming on the show. Please tell your dad hello for me.
Will do. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, EJ Garnes, very humble young man.
Love EJ Garnes.
I hope that sunk in for you a little bit.
What? Which part?
To be reverent of your father, yet humble.
No, that's not the message I got from that at all.
Did you not get that?
Not really, no.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, no surprise there. No surprise.
All right, we will come back.
Hey,
we'll talk.
I need to tell you guys about something before we go to break. FanDuel's got something special for our listeners. Be sure to check out FanDuel's Profit Boost tokens in the app and use it for FanDuel's Same Game Parlay for the KU Houston game. Profit Boost tokens will be available before the big game. View your account page now to learn more about your boost. That's a big deal.
There you go. Get on your boost. That's
boost.
The bottom. What?
Boost.
Get on your boost. That's the bottom line of that message.
Idiot. Just
we will take a break. When we come back, more high school basketball. Martin Shetler, the boys coach at Andover. They are back in the 5A tournament, defending their title in the 5A tournament. Martin Shetler next.
Why?
If you have T-Mobile 5G home internet, you might be hearing this a lot.
Why?
Every time your internet slows down during the busiest hours.
Why?
Because your network gives priority to cell phone users.
Why?
Good question. Why not switch to Cox Internet with 2 times faster download speeds than T-Mobile 5G home internet during peak hours?
Okay.
Stop the whys and visit cox.com/5G home for details. T-Mobile prioritizes certain T-Mobile phone users over home internet users during times of congestion.
We all agree that reducing carbon emissions is a good thing. And once again, Toyota is leading the way. We hear a lot about fully electric vehicles, and Toyota has them with more on the way. But we also know a BEV is not for everyone, whether it's because of cost, range, or concern about finding a charging station when you need it. Plus, the raw materials used to manufacture batteries are limited. Enter Beyond Zero, Toyota's vision for a carbon-neutral future. In vehicles and in manufacturing plants, too, in the years ahead. The materials used to make just one long-range battery for an EV could be used to make batteries for 6 plug-in hybrids or 90 gas-electric hybrids. That's why Toyota's position today is electrified, diversified, empowering you to choose how to reduce your own carbon footprint with the vehicle that's right for you. A hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or battery EV. So shop, learn more, and get details at toyota.com/beyondzero. Toyota, let's go places.
Old Man Winter here. If I had it my way, it would stay winter all year long. Short days, wind chill, black ice, and a good polar vortex. Oh, heaven. Wait, is it getting warm in here?
Your cold snap is over, Old Man Winter. Spring has arrived.
Spring.
Spring is here, which means it's the perfect time to get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can get great deals on all of our award-winning Hyundai models, like the tech-filled Tucson and Kona, as well as the spacious Palisade. Enjoy wherever you go with the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. But hurry in, these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end soon. Call 562-314-4603 for details.